Hi guys, so today's video is about how I kind of maintain my blue hair and what I use and my tips and stuff. This video probably won't have a lot of structure because some of it has been recorded months ago and now I'm filming this part of it, so yeah. This is kind of maybe going to be a bit sporadic, but maybe this will help you and kind of let you know what you're getting into if you want to dye your hair blue. So I've had blue hair for just over a year now, and when I first started I used the Directions hair dye on myself, and then eventually I went to the salon to get it done and stuck with that. So this colour is all salon colour. I get questions a lot from people asking what dye this is and how they can do it at home. I'm sorry, it is salon dye. You'll need to go to the salon. I know it's a colour by L'Oreal, but aside from that I don't know, like the hairdresser doesn't tell me the colour number and stuff. However, if you do want to do it at home, I really liked the colours that Directions did. I liked how it turned out. I think the main difference between the dye I have now and the dye from Directions is I found the Directions hair dye lightened, kind of more greeny, whereas this lightens to a kind of more silvery grey version of this. So whether or not you dye your hair at home or go to a salon, you need to know that blue is going to fade super fast. I'm due to be getting my hair coloured tomorrow, and this is probably the most faded my hair has ever been since dyeing it blue. I've just been back from Rome, and despite avoiding the sun, a combination of being in the pool and the small amount of sun that I was forced to endure, my hair has gone a really weird colour. So with my hair this faded, I'm able to show you kind of how well salon colour and home box dye colour kind of stays in your hair, because I have both in my hair. My ends were done with a box dye around October time last year, and it's still very blue. I don't know how well you can see that. But from like here upwards is the salon dye, and that fades to much more silver colour. There's a definite difference, you can see the gradient there. So if you're deciding to dye your hair blue, you might want to think about how long you want it for and whether the effort of having the blue stuck in your hair when you no longer want it and having to re-dye over it and possibly having a mishap is worth not paying the cost of a salon. You just need to weigh that up. Personally, I love how my hair kind of fades from a really dark, vibrant blue to this kind of silvery colour, and with the blue I just really love kind of the difference I end up. If I don't see people for a couple of weeks after I first dye it, when I see them a couple of weeks later and my hair is significantly lighter, they ask if I've had it redone, and that's always like a massive compliment. So I'm going to give you my tips and stuff for washing your hair and what I use and everything, so that you can maybe be better prepared. I guess the first thing I have to say is I do not wash my hair every single day. I'm fortunate I live in a country that does not have a lot of humidity. I've never felt like I need to wash my hair every day. Usually I'll go for a shower and wash my hair maybe every 2 to 3 days, but I usually try to push it to 3 because dirty hair is, I find, a bit easier to manage and to style. So I only really wash my hair maybe 2 to 3 times a week, and I find that the less you wash your hair, obviously the longer the colour is going to last. So that's going to be a big tip for you guys. Try not to wash your hair too often. If you wash your hair every day, the colour is going to fade really fast and you're going to need to keep redoing it. Another big tip for you is get dark coloured towels. Mine are purple, but anything purple, black, even a dark blue would be great. Anything but white really, because in the first maybe week or two when you get your hair done, the excess dye is going to come out a lot, and when you towel rinse it off you don't want big massive stains appearing, so if you've got dark towels no one will know. So as far as shampoo and conditioner go, I just use the Tresemme Colour Vibrance Protection ones. These are pretty cheap, they're a couple of pounds a bottle and they work fine for me. I'm not really a fan of using really expensive shampoos on your hair because these work fine and your hair is going to fade anyway. I feel like this helps, but I mean, like, it just doesn't matter. I don't see the point in like buying really expensive shampoo and conditioner. When I get out of the shower I also use Moroccan oil. I feel like it helps and it almost creates a barrier so that when I style my hair doesn't feel as damaged or anything. And because I do style my hair pretty often and that does fade colour, I also use heat protection spray. This is just the Got To Be Guardian Angel heat protection thing, and it works fine. Another thing I use that I would really recommend is something like organic virgin coconut oil or hair masks, like deep conditioning things, especially if you're dyeing your hair at home, because it will be harsher and might frizz your hair up and make it all damaged. I don't do these very often because I'm very careful with my hair, but I find that if I'm having a couple of days where it does feel really dry and the moisture's gone, I'll just use some kind of deep conditioning thing and leave it in overnight, and then it leaves my hair feeling amazing and looking so much better. So those are the things I use. I guess now I'll get more into tips of what not to do with coloured hair. One thing I know now that I can't do is go in a chlorinated pool. I went in one on holiday and I was very careful. I had all my hair tied back, but just the very back and bottom of my hair got splashed. So like from maybe here to here went a really weird colour. So if you had coloured hair, I definitely recommend not going near swimming pools. They're just a bad idea. Then obviously sunlight is going to bleach your hair and make it fade faster, so if you're an alternative gothy pale person, then you're going to have an easy time. Just keep doing what you're doing and you shouldn't be too bad. But if you spend like loads of time in the sun and you go tanning and you like spend ages on the beach, then your blue hair is not going to last very long. But yeah, so those are my tips on maintaining blue hair. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if it was a bit all over the place. I hope you got at least something interesting out of it if you're thinking of having hair like this. Thanks for watching and I'll see you again really soon. Bye bye.